Hi everyone, welcome to the Ever-Seeking Empath. I'm a reader who uses tarot, oracle, and charms, and today's reading is what's going to happen for you for the next 3 months. So if you're watching this when I post, it's mid-January right now, so this is going to take you through about the middle of April, but this is a timeless reading, so whenever you watch this video, just the next 3 months from the day you watch it, this should be some predictions on what might happen, what kind of things you might be focusing on, some themes that might be coming up in your life at that time. Before we get started, I do want to remind everyone that this is a general reading, so not everything might resonate with you, so that's fine. Just take what messages resonate for your situation and disregard the rest. Also, if you enjoy this, please like the video and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already so that you can see when I've posted new content. And thank you so much to those of you who have already subscribed. So we have 3 piles here today. Pile 1 is Red Rose, Courage, Be Brave, Be Strong, Believe. Pile 2 is the White Carnation, and it says Devotion, Be True and Pure in Thought and Deed. And pile 3 is the Sunflower, Assertiveness, Rise Up, Stand Stronger and True. So let your intuition guide you to a pile. You can judge based on your favorite flower or whichever quality you feel like you need to focus on right now, just anything that's really drawing you to a pile, that's your pile. Timestamps are going to be in the description and in the comments below, and we're going to get started now with pile number 1. Hi group 1, so if you chose the red rose which says courage, then this is your message. So we're going to start with your tarot and oracle and then do your charms at the end. So let's figure out what's going to happen for you for the next 3 months. For your tarot, you have the Knight of Cups, the Moon, 7 of Coins, 10 of Cups, and 8 of Wands. So right away with the Knight of Cups and the Moon, I feel like you're probably in kind of like an emotional situation right now. I feel like you're probably moving into a period of time where you might be feeling anxious, confused. You might be hoping for a romantic relationship to come your way, or like improvements in a romantic relationship that you're already in, because the Knight of Cups has to do with often a romantic offer. It can also just mean kind of following your heart. So for many of you, that might be heading your way. And then with the Moon, that has to do with diving into your emotions, just like a very emotional time period, feeling like maybe fears are overtaking you because you don't have the full picture, that kind of thing. And with 7 of Coins, you might be waiting for the payoff for something that you've been investing in for a long time. So I feel like this is just saying just hold out a little while longer, because I don't see whatever you're waiting for happening right away, but at the end of that 3-month period, I think it might be coming in for you, because you have the 10 of Cups and the 8 of Wands at the end. So with the 10 of Cups, that makes me think of just like, that's the happily ever after card. That's, you know, emotional fulfillment, just feeling really good. I mean, you can see how everyone's just really emotionally content here. And then the 8 of Wands is fast movement. You can just see how these wands just look like they're zipping through the air. You know, all of a sudden there's all this movement. So some of you might be trying to manifest something as well. So I feel like this is definitely telling you to kind of get into the mindset of whatever you're wanting to manifest. So if you're trying to manifest like a romantic relationship, get yourself into the emotions and into the mindset that you want that romantic relationship to bring you. You know, make yourself kind of feel like you're already in it, and then that will kind of attract that energy to you. I also want to see what your oracle cards have to say. So your first one is Looking Deeper. Deep within me is a majestic radiance. So that definitely makes me think of the Moon card here with that looking deeper, like looking deep into your emotions, figure out what you want, why you want it, that kind of thing. And just some of these kind of jewels are popping out to me too. So if there's one that's popping out to you, maybe kind of look into that color theory, or maybe it associates with like a chakra that you're working on or something like that. Maybe that chakra needs more attention if you're into like chakra healing and that kind of thing. You have planting seeds. Seeds of grace are being planted in the fertile soil of my soul. So yeah, that's definitely kind of similar to the 7 of Coins. Like, you've been investing, you're kind of trying to see how your like work is coming along now. So I feel like this is definitely saying just kind of work on putting that energy out there, you know, start something fresh, see kind of what you're wanting to manifest, what you're wanting to create over these next few months, and kind of get that work out there so that you can see what comes back to you once some time has passed by. You have Ride the Wave, number 14. So with that and with the Eight of Wands here, that's making me think that, I mean, the Eight of Wands, because it's so fast moving, it can often be very overwhelming. It can be like really kind of just all of a sudden, you know, movement starts happening, and a lot of the time many people self-sabotage because that just gets to feel like too much right away. But just, I think this is saying kind of prepare yourself for that, but then ride that wave. You know, if things are kind of moving slowly, don't try to force them to move faster, and when things start speeding up, don't, you know, dig in your heels and try to slow it down or try to control the movement. You know, just kind of go with the flow, ride the wave of whatever emotions you're kind of feeling in that moment, and that kind of thing. You have Anxiety, number 18, and that's interesting too because the moon is also number 18, and that definitely can represent anxiety in a lot of ways. So I feel like whatever you're trying to bring to fruition is making you very anxious. You might be overthinking it a lot. You might be having a hard time kind of shaking off anxious thoughts over the next few months, but I think that's why you're getting this suggestion to ride the wave, because I feel like sometimes we want to control everything, or we're trying to like look through each step of a situation to figure out what can you do differently, or how can you make it go faster or slower, or like have more control over something. And this to me is just saying, take it slow, you know, just take it one step at a time. Try not to overanalyze anything. If you're feeling anxious, kind of go with that, but don't keep feeding it, if that makes sense. You don't have to try to shut down your anxiety. Maybe think about it, figure out like where it's coming from, but don't necessarily try to shut it down or like let it influence your actions either. Just sometimes let it sit and see what happens. You have A Fiery Climax Approaches, full moon in Aries. So that definitely makes me think of this Eight of Wands. Like all of a sudden, out of nowhere, you're going to get this kind of sudden event happening. So, you know, maybe you're going to be butting heads with somebody, because we do have the Ram on the like kind of Aries card. But also it could just be like the manifestation of something that you've been waiting for is coming. You know, I do feel like this is going to be more towards April, whatever is coming for you, but I feel like you're definitely manifesting something. It might be something more unexpected, like maybe you're kind of going into this aiming for one thing and you get something else, but I feel like whatever happens, it's going to be kind of out of nowhere. You're not going to be expecting it. You have Silver Sisters, Time to Take Protection from Toxic Thoughts and Energy, number 9. So I think this is saying just protect your energy, especially if you're getting anxious. Maybe you're somebody who tends to be influenced by like the moon phase, by other people. You might be an empath. And this is just saying make sure that you can like protect your energy, protect yourself, that you're not kind of sitting in someone else's energy, that you're clearing your energy. Make sure that you're not kind of indulging too much in your anxious thoughts or in other people's anxious thoughts, or if they're being like too negative about something or saying that you don't know what you're talking about, or things, you know, aren't going to happen the way you're hoping for. Or they try to give you like not a reality check, but I feel like some people try to kind of control the narrative to fit what they think, and that doesn't always work for everybody. So just make sure that you're protecting yourself. You're not kind of like, your own intuition knows best. I think that's what it's really saying, is just make sure that you're able to separate your thoughts and energy from other people's, and just make sure that you're not indulging too much in that anxiety or anything, and just ride the wave. You know, you don't have to kind of shut down anything, but just be aware of what's yours and what's not. And then finally, you have Pistachio from the Ice Cream Oracle. So this says emotional healing, independence, responsibility. So with emotional healing, that does make me think of the Silver Sisters card. So again, you might be like healing from something that's been difficult. You might be kind of digging up some old traumas or hurts from the past, something like that. You might need to separate yourself from people who maybe don't have your best interests at heart, but just that might be something that you want to kind of invest your energy in, especially because we've got planting seeds. And then with the 7 of coins as well, that makes me think of that responsibility card. So just kind of tending to yourself, tending to things that need to get done, but not trying to rush the process. So group 1, we are going to get your charms now to figure out some more information, and we're using the heart so that we know what's in the heart of the situation, maybe where you need to focus your energy this period of time. So group 1, what is coming for you in the next 3 months? So in the heart, we have the letter R. So that might resonate for some of you. I'm not really getting any words kind of popping up at the moment. Just the word radiance is kind of coming up, but you do have the R's in red rose, which is kind of funny. So the double R there, be brave, be strong, believe. So I think your pile does seem to be very focused on just believing in yourself, believing that what you want can happen. And just trusting that that can occur. You know, I think you just, again, it's about making sure that you're kind of setting up your energy to be ready for that, to be in that state of whatever you're wanting to manifest, shutting down anything that's not serving that purpose, that isn't necessarily yours, that doesn't resonate with you or with your intuition, and then just kind of going with the flow. When things are slow, allow that. When things are getting faster, ride that wave. You do have make a wish here. So yeah, I think it's saying make a wish, your wishes will come true. I think just try to be optimistic about this too, because you have smile. So I feel like you might be kind of pleasantly surprised about what comes your way in the next few months. And for many of you, I feel like there might not be something immediate in the next 3 months, but I feel like it will be more towards the end of the 3 months. So if you're watching when I've posted, that's like mid-April. But even if it doesn't happen in these 3 months, I think it's going to happen maybe soon after. But I feel like it's going to be a long process, but you're, you know, in the last maybe third of the process or whatever, if you've been trying to manifest something for a long time. For many of you, I do think that this is probably kind of relationship oriented. It could be something else, but you do have a lot of things pointing to some sort of like soulmate type relationship. You do have believe in love. So I feel like this is saying, you know, trust that's coming to you. It is possible. It does exist, that kind of thing. And you also have the 2 peas in a pod. So that always makes me think of soulmate energy. It can be like a best friends kind of energy too, but that kindred spirit, you know, where you just feel like you two are like, you know, either just identical clones, that kind of thing. Because I feel like a lot of people have friends who are like that, or like your exact like opposite complement, if that makes sense. So like the yin and yang and that kind of thing. I feel like you're maybe bringing in somebody who fits you so well like that. You have a lot of kind of healing energy here as well, because you have the starfish. So that represents healing, emotional healing, because they do grow back their limbs when they lose them. I think it's saying be optimistic. Things are going to work out for you, because the sunflower is very much like the sun card in tarot, just optimism, success, things working out for you. You have Aquarius energy here, so you might be an Aquarius, or someone you're thinking of, or someone coming in might be an Aquarius as well, but that also has to do with individuality and idealism. So just, I feel like that's saying don't compromise on what type of person you want in your life. Make sure that you are really picturing the most important qualities to you, what you want this person to feel like to you. And I think that's what you're going to draw in, and don't kind of give in to the norm or what other people want for you. I think you know best what's right for you and what you want, and that might be different than what other people want for you. So just keep that in mind. You have the crescent moon again, so that's kind of more emphasis on that moon card. So I think, yeah, again, the anxiety and fear and just feeling kind of overwhelmed by your emotions. You have way to go, so I think you might be trying to figure out what route to take. You're not really sure how to get where you're going or how to get where you want to be. You have the like oyster shell here. So again, more kind of emotional energy. I think your intuition is strong at this time, but I think it might be feeling kind of shut down by your anxiety. So just make sure that you're kind of keeping that under control, and, you know, maybe meditating or clearing your mind somehow so that you can really tune into your intuition again, because I think that's not going to steer you wrong. You have the tree here, so I do think that you've got a lot of growth coming in. There's a lot of abundance coming your way, and I think just make sure that you're kind of tending to that, making sure that you're like nurturing whatever you're wanting to come to fruition. You have the castle here, so Sometimes this makes me think of like a fortress, like keeping your walls up, not really letting anybody in. But it also has to do with just like thinking big, dreaming big, you know, not kind of staying limited by what other people think is possible. So that's really what I'm getting here is like believing that what you want can come true. You have the feather, so that's my symbol for like signs and synchronicities. So you might be seeing like the repeating numbers, you might be seeing feathers, coins. I see like 1111 a lot. I think that's a really common one, but just kind of keep an eye out for those because that might be telling you that you're on the right path or that things are working out for you and just reassuring you that things will work out in your favor. You have the dolphin, so that has to do with like socializing, being playful, being friendly. So I think just staying open to positive energy and like being around positive people, I think will help. You have the key here, so you do have a solution to the problem. I think what you want is going to work out, and I think you might not even be aware of like what you need to do to make this happen, but I feel like if you kind of stop and clear your mind, not let yourself overthink, you'll be like, aha, that's exactly what I want, or something's going to come in surprisingly and it'll be like, whoop, there's the missing piece, that kind of situation. You have the golf clubs here, so that makes me think of like needing to use the correct tool for a situation. So if you are like, it's like if you're wanting to do a specific thing, like with golf, you know, you have to use different clubs for different scenarios. So like, you know, you're not going to use a putter on your first shot on the golf course, that kind of thing. So make sure that you are kind of adjusting your methods based on what situation you're in and how far along in your journey you are. I hope that makes sense. You have the turtle, so that just makes me think again of going with the flow. You know, make sure that you're kind of riding that wave. Allow things to be moving slowly when they are. Don't push it to be moving more quickly at that point. And you do have the whirlpool here, so that makes me think of just getting kind of sucked into that emotional whirlpool, you know, thought spirals, just getting anxious, that kind of thing. So I think that's just saying, you know, allow that to pass and try not to give into those thoughts because sometimes we can't trust our thoughts. You know, sometimes they lead us astray and they lead us away from what we know in our gut is true. So I think just make sure that you're connecting to your intuition and that you're not letting your mind like run away with you to the most negative scenario possible. Just make sure that you're kind of giving yourself a reality check, but you're being gentle with yourself as well. That's really one big energy I'm getting is treat yourself with love and compassion, just like you would treat somebody you love if they were going through a similar situation. So group 1, I hope that this resonates. I would love to hear if it does, so please leave me a comment below. I know that this was a little bit more of a, like, kind of how to manifest what you want, but I feel like for many of you this is going to be different situations. But I do think many of you are going to be kind of bringing in either a romantic relationship or just some more kindred spirits into your life. But just, yeah, I hope that that's resonating with you. And if you enjoyed this video, please like it and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I hope that you have an awesome rest of your day. I hope that the next 3 months work out really well for you, and I hope to see you next time. Thanks for watching. Hi, Pile 2. So if you chose the White Carnation Devotion, Be True and Pure in Thought and Deed, then this is your message. So we're going to start with your Tarot and Oracle and then do your charms at the end. So let's figure out what's going to happen for you for the next 3 months. For your tarot, you have the Queen of Cups, Queen of Coins, Page of Cups, and the Hermit. So right away, I feel like you are probably going to be focusing quite a lot on yourself and on self-care because primarily, I mean, we have the Hermit, which has to do with obviously like taking some time alone, making sure that you're looking within, that you're feeling like you're on the right path for you, that you're connecting with kind of your inner guidance and that kind of thing, but just exploring your own kind of internal realm, if that makes sense. And then with these 2 queens here, queens are the nurturers of the court cards, so I feel like you're definitely kind of investing in yourself, making sure that you're kind of taking care of your emotional health with the Queen of Cups, and that you're also nurturing like your physical health and your surroundings with that Queen of Pentacles. Maybe working on your finances to some extent, but I feel like overall this is just a lot of kind of caretaking of yourself. So maybe you've gone through something kind of difficult. I mean, we all have over the past year or so, but you might have gone through something really tough recently, and you might also be connecting more readily with your intuition, because with the Page of Cups, that can often have to do with just kind of intuitive guidance, that little nudge that kind of comes up, making sure that you're listening to your intuition, because you are getting messages, you're getting kind of signs and synchronicities and things like that. So just overall, I feel like you're kind of exploring your intuition, your emotional state. Just really, there's a lot of focus on the self here, but I want to figure out what else your oracle cards have to say. So you have simplifying your life. I cherish the simple pleasures of life. So yeah, this definitely goes with that Queen of Pentacles, because she takes care of her environment and her surroundings. And with the simplifying your life, you can see the lady on the card just like in a crazy cleaning spree, you know, kind of sorting through everything. Maybe you're going to do like a Marie Kondo, like kind of spark joy method of clearing out your home, sorting through what you need, what you don't need, doing like a deep clean, like scrubbing down your entire place. This could also have to do with your thoughts and emotions as well, like getting rid of what you don't need, that kind of thing. You have soaring into joy, childlike wonder fills my life. So that fits with what I was saying about spark joy, but that also can have to do with that Page of Cups too, just kind of focusing on what makes you happy, reconnecting with that kind of childlike state. And again, I feel like this is a lot of focus on just your personal life, you know, just yourself, what makes you happy, you know, not other people's expectations, not what you feel like society expects you to do or your family wants you to do or anything like that, and not what you feel like would make you the most successful in someone else's eyes, but just what makes you feel good, what makes you feel happy and light and just excited to start the day. You have slow and steady, number 12. So I feel like this might be something that you have been working on for a while, and maybe this is something that you're kind of doing on and off, that every time you go through something, when you take a break, you're kind of back to trying to focus on yourself, and maybe you've been struggling with that. So I feel like this is kind of a sign for you that you are making progress, even if it seems like you're not. But yeah, it's just slow and steady progress. You know, keep at it. It's not going to be an overnight instant change. It's something that you have to devote time and energy to. And I mean, I just said the word devote, and with white carnation, the word is devotion. So I really feel like this pile is very much focused on devotion to the self, you know, devotion to your life purpose, to your health, to your happiness, even if it takes a long time to get there. You have first chakra, Archangel Michael, number 35. So I feel like this has to do, well, the first chakra is the root chakra, so that has to do with a sense of like security, stability, safety. So maybe you've been in periods of time where you've felt physically unsafe. You might have been dealing with some anxiety as well, and you might have trouble kind of feeling grounded and feeling rooted in your surroundings and like just in your environment, in your body, that kind of thing. So I feel like maybe you'll just be working on your health, maybe grounding out in nature, meditating, just doing other things, that working on that root chakra as well. But I just feel like really feeling solid and stable in your environment, in your sense of self, feeling a lot more secure and powerful as well is something you're going to be working on. Your commitment is being tested, first quarter moon. So that kind of makes me think of this slow and steady card as well, and also kind of the Hermit a little bit too, because things don't happen overnight. Because I feel like, I don't remember what the quote is, but there's a quote basically that things that we want don't land right in our laps, they land near us, because, you know, we all know what happens if we get given something. It's, you know, we're not often as grateful for it, we kind of take it for granted. And with this, I feel like this is kind of referring to a situation like that, that maybe something landed near you, and there's something that you want, and it's, you know, you're getting closer to it, but you really do have to put in the work to get there so that you can really appreciate it once you have it. So I feel like that's maybe why whatever you're working on is just taking so long, because you need to keep kind of committing to this. And I really do feel like this is saying you need to just keep recommitting to yourself, because you might be that type of person to kind of burn up what you want in favor of what other people want. So I feel like with this first chakra card as well, this might be something where you've allowed yourself to not feel safe in a situation so that somebody else was happy. And I feel like right now you're like, you know what, I'm not doing that anymore. I'm going to focus on myself and make sure that I feel safe and secure above all else before I even think of somebody else's happiness. So that's just kind of what I'm getting. But I feel like this is something that's been going for a while, and you might be reaching that point of frustration where you feel like you're not seeing progress, but you are progressing. This is just that point where you feel like you can't go on any longer, but you're so close to feeling like you're actually making it somewhere. So keep going. And then you have fairy tales, letting go, detachment, moving on, number 19. So yeah, I mean, that definitely goes with this kind of simplifying your life card, letting go of what no longer serves you. But I also feel like with this particular one, I'm wondering if many of you have had maybe a string of toxic situations, toxic relationships, or just like one major toxic relationship, and maybe it's been off and on or something, but you've been struggling to truly let go of that and let go of maybe an idealized version of the person you were with, if they were manipulative or weren't who you thought they were or something like that. But just letting go of that person, that relationship, that kind of imaginary future that you had set up for yourself. And I think you're at the point where you're getting ready to let go, but you really do need to commit to get through that final push at the end. And because this guy is kind of in the water here, I do feel like a lot of this is you kind of going back over memories and really just still having those emotions sitting there. So I think that's why it keeps redirecting you to just focus on yourself, focus on your environment, focus on the things that you can control, and really like just making sure that you're taking care of yourself and your own needs and just everything around you to make sure that you're happy before you kind of move into a new state where you'd maybe be worrying about someone else or anything like that. But I feel like you are in the period of like detaching from these toxic patterns and toxic people. And I do think that you're probably getting some signs and synchronicities that you're on the right path, and that you're doing the right thing, and that you're getting close to achieving your goal because of that Page of Cups. And then the lantern on the Hermit keeps drawing my eye as well, and that makes me think of just guidance, following your own inner guidance. So I really think that that's something you'll be working on, and I think it's something that you'll probably feel a lot closer to truly achieving at this point as well. And then finally, your ice cream oracle card is Maple, kindness, friendship, support. So overall, be kind to yourself. Show yourself the same kind of love that you show to other people you care about. I think that's one big thing, is be a friend to yourself, but also don't be afraid to reach out for support, whether this is to friends, family members, or a professional. If you feel like that would be something that would help you, just make sure that you're not like trying to go about it all by yourself if you feel like support is something that you could truly need or that would be helpful for you. So just make sure that that's something you're aware of, is there are people around you who are ready and willing to help you, and just that might be something that might help kind of get past this last push. So I want to get your charms now to get some more information, and we are using the heart today to figure out what's in the heart of the situation. So group 2, what's happening for you for the next 3 months? Okay, so in the heart, we have the dragonfly, which has to do with transformation and joy. It's kind of a symbol of good luck as well. And I feel like for some of you, you might be seeing dragonflies. That might be one of your synchronistic signs that's telling you you're on the right path. The spider in the web is reminding you that you can create your own life. So I feel like that's something that many of you need to remember, is that you are not at the mercy of other people all the time. You have the power to create your own life, and just make sure that you're creating the life you want and not one that other people want you to focus on. You have the wolf howling at the moon, which always kind of gives me a little bit of the hermit energy, that lone wolf vibe. So just, yeah, connecting with your intuition, a little bit with your emotions, like feeling a bit in the dark and a bit alone, but just recognizing that you can reach out to other people for support when you need it. And then you have the number 28 here. So that might be a significant number or date for many of you, but just be aware of the 28th of the next 3 months. Kind of pay attention to what happens that day. There might be something significant going on there or something relating to number 28. You have the wave here, so that makes me think of like riding the waves of emotions. I talked about this a bit in group 1, but just not trying to shut down the emotions you're feeling just because they're uncomfortable or overwhelming or anything, not letting yourself drown in them, but just allowing them to pass, because they always do pass. So just, not trying to control how you're feeling and just letting those waves pass, because they will kind of die down eventually as well. You have the pineapple here, which has to do with hospitality, abundance, that sense of home. So again, I think working on your environment, your sense of home, working on the place that you live and kind of fixing that up to make you feel a little bit more at home, a little more safe and secure, and just feeling like it kind of reflects yourself. I think that would be a good task to focus on for the next 3 months. You have this cat who's just sitting and waiting. So I feel like you've been very patient with yourself, and you've been patient with whatever you're trying to bring about, whatever you're trying to manifest. And I think this is just saying keep being patient with yourself, because you've got just a little bit more to go. I think sometimes you might have the tendency to be hard on yourself, but I do feel like you've advanced to the point where you're not as hard on yourself as you have been in the past. So that's awesome. Keep it up. You have the moon and star, which always makes me think of just reaching for your dreams. Shoot for the moon. Even if you miss, you'll land among the stars. So I feel like you might have some big dreams that you're wanting to achieve, and you're not really sure how to bring them about, but you are really trying. You're going to go for it even if you feel like you have no chance of getting there. So that's really great. Just keep it up. You have the Faery, which has to do, again, with joy. So I feel like joy is a really big theme for your reading as well, focusing on joy for the next few months, whatever those things are. And with the Faery in particular, that makes me think of the little things that spark joy as well, not just big things or like big achievements or successes or anything like that, but just the little everyday things, watching a sunset, or feeling like you cooked a really good meal that turned out awesome, or, just, sorry, seeing a dog walk outside, that's like got its tail wagging. I feel like that always cheers me up, just seeing how joyful animals can be, that kind of thing. So I feel like just focusing on whatever little things bring you joy will be very helpful to you. You have sing as well. So I feel like music might be significant to you. You might be a singer, or you might be just identifying with a lot of music. And I feel like just singing sometimes, especially if you're alone, can just feel really freeing. So maybe you need to kind of free up your throat chakra as well. Maybe you've been holding back from speaking your truth and just, being afraid of what other people will think or say. And I think sometimes singing is a good way to just kind of let that out. Just, release the sound with no judgment of how you sound or what other people think or anything like that. You have the little kind of guardian angel here watching over you, so you definitely have spirits, angels, loved ones watching over you who are helping kind of guide you and cheering you on. You have the little spool here, so that makes me think of just like focusing on the details. So I feel like, again, that kind of makes me think of the simplify your life. So focusing on the little things, cleaning up a little bit, tidying up, just kind of fixing up whatever you feel like needs to kind of get fixed up, focusing just on little things maybe every day that you can do to kind of cherish yourself. But I feel like this is a lot of just little things you can do to show yourself that you love you, if that makes sense. You have the cat here with the heart, so that is my charm for unconditional love. So again, unconditional love of the self. I think just making sure that you're focusing on that and focusing on showing yourself the same love that you would show someone that you loved, not holding back or feeling like you don't deserve things, just making sure that you're investing at least as much in yourself as you do in other people, if not more in yourself than you do other people. You have the saddle, so that's my charm for get back in the saddle again. So just, keep trying, if you fall down, get back up, that kind of thing. So I think every time that you feel like you fail or you mess up or make a mistake, just get back on that horse and just keep going. Some of you might be still kind of dreaming of love or romance or something. So, yeah, I feel like maybe this is kind of representing for many of you the people that you're missing. I think many of us are missing loved ones right now with not being able to travel and that kind of thing. So I feel like many of you are probably feeling a bit lonely, but just use this time to really invest in yourself, focus on yourself. And I think that's also representing that some of you might be struggling to let go of a past partner, a past romantic relationship, that kind of thing. Because we have the skeleton dancing that was right by that charm as well. And that makes me think of like the dead coming back to life kind of thing. So like something that just won't stay dead. So I feel like maybe this is somebody from your past who keeps like calling you, or like you've blocked them and then they make a new number and like text you or call you from that number, or you think that you're, no contact with this person and they pop up again, or someone mentions them, or even if you just keep thinking of them, you think you're over them and then the next day you wake up and all of a sudden they're on your mind again. So that's just representing kind of that feeling of just something just won't die. And then you have the pruning shears. So that makes me think of just cutting out what doesn't serve you. So, just whatever people or situations or like thought processes you feel like are not serving you anymore, just getting rid of that. You have the messages in a bottle here. So someone might be trying to reach out to you. So that could be this person who keeps kind of coming back from the dead to like contact you again, but it also could be like missing information that you're waiting on, or like somebody new reaching out, that kind of thing. But you'll probably be getting important communication from someone in the near future. You have the American flag, which to me is like kind of my symbol of freedom. So just freeing yourself from what doesn't work, feeling like you can live your life for your purposes and not for someone else's. Just making sure that you are focusing on what makes you feel light and free as well, and not feeling like weighed down and burdened by what you're working on and what kind of life you're living. And you have the rocking horse, which is my symbol for kind of going back and forth and not feeling like you're getting anywhere. Like even though you're putting in constant effort, the rocking horse like keeps going back and forth, but it doesn't really move forward at all. It's just kind of in place. So you might feel like you've been doing a lot of, like putting in a lot of effort, doing a lot of motions to move forward, and you just haven't gotten anywhere. So this is just saying, just keep it up. Like you might be making more progress than you think you are, or you might need to change tactics, but just don't be too hard on yourself. And then you have the letter E here as well. So that could be an initial, a place, just some kind of significant letter. But yeah, so that also makes me think of the Empress, which is kind of the vibe I was getting from you getting those two queens as well, is just focusing on yourself, that very like feminine nurturing energy. And it doesn't have to be like feminine, like, female, but just the kind of feminine energy of being nurturing and loving and just kind of, abundance, making anything grow, that kind of thing. So yeah, group 2, I hope that this resonates. It sounds like you just need to do a lot of focusing on loving yourself for the next few months. So I would love to hear if this resonates, so please leave me a comment below. If you enjoyed this reading, please like the video and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I hope that you have an awesome rest of your day, an awesome few months. I hope these next few months are great for you, and I hope to see you next time. Thanks for watching. Hi, group 3. So if you chose Sunflower, Assertiveness, Rise Up, Stand Stronger and True, then this is your message. So we're going to start with your tarot and oracle and then do your charms at the end. So let's figure out what your next 3 months will bring you. So you actually got a lot of tarot cards. You got the most out of any group. For your tarot, you got Death, the Fool, the Wheel, King of Coins, the Emperor, and the Seven of Cups. So group 3, I feel like you definitely have some big things coming to you. You have some big changes that are happening, have been happening, and will be happening, because you have 4 majors here. You have Death, the Fool, the Wheel, and the Emperor. So I feel like overall this is definitely about personal power, but I kind of want to start at the beginning. So we have Death and the Fool to start. So Death has to do with endings and transformation, and we all know that with endings come new beginnings, and that's where the Fool comes in. So the Fool has to do with new beginnings and just being enthusiastic and excited about what's to come and being completely unaware of what's coming. So I feel like you've ended a big cycle and you're kind of moving into something brand new. And with the Wheel, I feel like this is something that's divinely guided. It might be kind of a burst of good luck here that you're having, but it's just, there's something here that's just a big change for you. So with the King of Coins and the Emperor, this is definitely about personal power and just having maybe even power over not somebody else, but like power over a situation more. Maybe you've been promoted or you're getting promoted, or you're coming into a position of much more authority than you had before. Because that King of Coins is very abundant, very solid and secure and stable, and the Emperor has to do with authority and, again, a very stable and solid presence, and just, again, that position of power, just very solid. That's kind of the word that keeps coming up, is solid. And then finally, we have the Seven of Cups, and that has to do with choices. And it's interesting because in most versions of the Seven of Cups, you've got cups with a variety of different things in them, like good and bad, that you're not sure what you're going to get. It makes me think of the Forrest Gump quote, life is like a box of chocolates. You're not, you never know what you're going to get. So with this particular card, to me, this is showing that whatever you choose is going to be good. And I think because so much of this seems to be kind of like divinely guided, whatever you choose is going to get you to the same great, grand, successful location at the end. You're finally going to get to this amazing result. So I also see these as almost kind of like stepping stones or something. Like you can kind of change your mind, and no matter which path you take, you're going to get there. So I feel like this is maybe about you kind of trusting in yourself, trusting in the universe, because with that Fool card, that's just being like, hey, whatever's coming, I'm going to take it on. It's, this is going to be awesome. And just being very excited about what's coming. And then with those two very powerful cards here of like stable and secure, that's making me think you're just very confident and secure in yourself, but not in like the King of Wands, like driving force, moving forward quickly kind of way of like, mowing down whatever's in your path, but just very solid, very stable, and just kind of, I feel like you might even be aware that no matter what path you take, you're going to end up at a really great ending, if that makes sense. Like the end of your path will be amazing. But I want to see what your oracle cards have to say, because I think this could go so many different ways in terms of like what kind of theme here. But so you have making a difference. My inner light shines far and wide. So yeah, this kind of makes me think of this like position of authority too, that maybe you are in the position where you are capable of making a difference for other people who maybe don't have the same amount of power that you do, the same amount of like sway over others. And I feel like you're really kind of unafraid to show your true self. Maybe like you're unafraid to ask for what you want, tell people what you want, that kind of thing. But I feel like you're definitely in the position where you can be kind of a beacon for other people as well. You have Talisman, 49. So that just makes me think of like kind of following your inner wisdom. Like you're maybe testing a few different things to kind of figure out what route seems to be the right way to take, or if you're moving in the right direction. And that does make me think of this kind of Seven of Cups, like trying to figure out if the path that you're on feels right to you. And I feel like you're unafraid to just be like, nope, this isn't working for me, I'm moving on to something else. So I feel like maybe that's something that over the past year you've kind of honed your skills to understand what makes you feel right and what makes you not feel right. Like what kind of resonates with your soul and what doesn't, so that you know how to advocate for yourself more. Because with that Sunflower card that you picked, it's assertiveness. So I feel like you're definitely kind of in your power and unafraid to like move towards what you want and to ask for what you want at this point. You have Cornucopia, number 11. So yeah, this is just about abundance and just kind of coming to the end of something and just having this huge, abundant cornucopia of goods at the end. And with this, I just keep coming back to the Seven of Cups. Like you just have all of this incredible stuff to look forward to once you've completed your journey. And that King of Coins as well is a very abundant card. So I feel like abundance is definitely coming your way. And I think a lot of this, as much as I think you've got some divine guidance going on, I think so much of this is because of what you have done to get here as well. Because of this, the King of Coins has kind of completed his path and the Emperor is standing in his power. So I feel like this is you recognizing how much work you have done to achieve this. So well done. I feel like it takes a long time to get to that point. That's really awesome if you're kind of getting to that point where you're proud of yourself for what you've achieved and kind of, gotten through things. And this doesn't have to necessarily be like monetary abundance. Like for some of you it might be, but I feel like this can also be like spiritual abundance and like, again, just wisdom, feeling like you can finally trust in yourself to know what's right for you and what's not. You have communication is key, new moon in Gemini. So yeah, this is interesting because I was talking about like being unafraid of asking for what you want with this talisman card. So I feel like with this communication is key, you might have to, maybe you're going to be in some situations in the next few months where you're going to have to ask for what you want, say what you want, be unafraid of making people aware of what's right for you and what's not. Because with the Seven of Cups, you have all of these choices here, but not all of them will necessarily be what feels best to you, because all of these cups seem to have something great in them, but some of them are quite a bit closer to the end here. So maybe you're kind of able to just kind of skip from cup to cup and you don't have to go through all of them, or you don't feel like all of them really serve you the best. Like they might be still getting you to the same destination, but you know which route you want to take there. And I feel like you're finally at the point where you're unafraid of asking for what you want. And then you have Midnight Prince, ask for what you want, be honest. Okay, that's crazy. And that's number 43. So yeah, this seems to be really what this is all about, is you finally reached a point where you're unafraid to ask for what you want, that you are able to be honest and be assertive. I can't get over, I think this, all the groups have really resonated with their like Language of Flowers card, but this group in particular seems to be like really significantly linked with your card here, because that's assertiveness, rise up, stand stronger and true. So yeah, you're definitely at the point where you're ready to ask for what you want and you are not afraid to tell people what isn't going to work for you. So I think that's awesome. It just feels like you've been on like a kind of a self-discovery journey over the past year or so, and now you're moving into a phase where you can kind of put what you've learned into action. And then finally, you have, for your ice cream oracle, you have chocolate, purpose, depth, and roots. So I feel like maybe you've been kind of connecting with your sense of purpose as well, and kind of connecting with maybe what you kind of worked on in childhood or what really attracted you in childhood, and you've kind of come back to that, because with the wheel too, that can have to do with cycles. So maybe this is something that you've kind of come back to over and over. It's something that was always present in like the depths of your soul, but you never gave it much thought, or you didn't think that it was possible or something. So you're coming back to that sense of purpose that you've just always had. And with this, my inner light shines far and wide too. I feel like this is something that usually would come up just over and over and kind of remind you, hey, you've got this to share. And maybe now you're finally recognizing what a gift that is. So that's really great. I want to do your charms now to get some more information. And we are going to use the heart to figure out what's in the heart of the situation. So maybe what you need to focus on, what the most important things will be, that kind of thing. So group 3, what's going to happen for you for the next 3 months? Okay, so I was talking about with the wheel having really good luck, and look what landed in your heart is the 4-leaf clover and horseshoe. So this to me says that you are having a crazy amount of good luck coming your way. Maybe you're going to have some opportunities manifest that you couldn't have imagined popping up, that it's just a ton of things had to line up for them to occur this way. Just overall, I feel like you're going to have a really great 3 months. And if you don't feel like you're having a great one, I think this is setting you up for some greatness in the future. So remember that the timing is kind of, it's not going to be it's obviously not an exact science or anything, But I just feel like if you don't feel like you're seeing this kind of progress, this kind of good luck in the next few months, I think it'll be after that. But I just feel like you're set up for that right now, that it could happen at any time. So just kind of hold on and get ready, because I think this is definitely, you're going to have some big surprises coming your way. I just kind of want to see what all the words and stuff are. Yeah, okay. So again, you have lucky. Like, you can't make this up. So yeah, I feel like you're going to be feeling really lucky. I think you are definitely going to have a lot of luck coming your way. And I think a lot of that might be that you're unafraid to ask for what you want. And maybe you are trying to manifest some things. Maybe you're asking the universe for what you want at this point too. And you're kind of connecting with that, and you're being specific and honest. And now you're realizing that stuff is kind of coming in towards you. So I'm happy that that seems to be serving you. So you have star. So that makes me think of the star card in tarot. So just wishes coming true, like having hope and faith that things will work out. You also have always. So that makes me think again of the wheel card, and just things coming up over and over, like for your entire life, like different themes, different interests, just things that you feel like you can't quite let go of, that just always seem to kind of pull on you a little bit, that you feel like you maybe need to explore a bit more. So just pay attention to that if you're feeling that at all. Just that might be trying to tell you something. You have numbers 6 and 10 here. So those could be significant numbers, dates. For tarot, number 6 is the Lover's card, and number 10, again, is the Wheel. So I think the Wheel is very much emphasized here. Just that sense of cycles and good luck. I do think that good luck is a big thing that's coming to you over the next few months. So I feel like you might even have a lot of like little lucky incidents happening as well, because with the 7 of Cups, it makes me think like you're going to have a lot of opportunities, a lot of different paths kind of show up for you, and you're then going to have to decide what seems to fit with you the best. Like, you might feel tempted by a bunch of different options, but you're going to have to kind of narrow down and figure out which one actually resonates with you. You know, I feel like you might have so many options you don't even know what to do with yourself. And just know that any of those options will lead you somewhere good, but some of them might not feel quite as good as others, if that makes sense. But I feel like you're coming into kind of a win-win situation here. And then with the 6 being Lover's card, you do have love here. So some of you might be trying to manifest a relationship or some dates or something. And you might have been feeling maybe closed off for a while, and now you're ready to kind of give someone that key to your locked up heart there. So yeah, I feel like that might be one of the things that you've got options in, is you're now unafraid to kind of state your needs, state what you want. And so you're going to have a lot of people, like maybe you're carrying yourself with a lot more confidence lately, and you're going to have a lot of people kind of throwing themselves at you. And you're really going to have to narrow down, who do you want to be around, and who has what you feel like you need in your life as well. Because I feel like, you know, it's easy to get kind of caught up in your ego if you aren't used to having a lot of people around, and then a lot of people are showing interest in you, but you want to make sure that you're only kind of moving towards people that feel like they would actually bring something to your life as well. So you have the Kali, which is my kind of lassie charm, so that always makes me think of asking for help, being given help. So maybe this is, in this case, I almost feel like this is you offering help to someone else because of this making a difference, that maybe you're kind of demonstrating to other people what they can achieve and that kind of thing. Like, maybe you feel like you've earned enough wisdom that you can kind of share that with other people. So that might be something that you're kind of focusing on for the time being. You have Aquarius, and this particular charm says friendly on the back. So yeah, maybe you might be making some new friends. You might just have a lot of people being like kinder to you over the next few months, and that might be kind of where you're getting all these options coming from. But you could be an Aquarius. Some of these people could be Aquariuses. But overall, with that friendly, I just feel like it's saying, you know, just as long as I think you kind of stay open and friendly, I think that's going to be that kind of charismatic pull that's going to draw people in towards you as well. You have these snowflakes. So that's like the winter charm. So right now where I am in the northern hemisphere, it is winter. So this definitely fits with, you know, going on in winter. It could also represent next winter, or just like something significant happening in winter. It also makes me think maybe you've gone through kind of like a frosty, like winter period of your life, of your love life, of feeling like nothing's been going on, and now you're going to have this like influx of new things. And it also makes me think of how snowflakes are all unique and no two are alike, and that's making me think of just embracing your uniqueness. And I think that's one of the things that you're able to do now with your assertiveness is just being able to show what you want and not tailoring it to what you think other people expect from you. And then you have the dolphin here as well, and that's actually kind of interesting. It's by the Aquarius charm a little bit because dolphins are friendly and very social. So I feel like maybe just kind of interacting with people more is going to be something that you'll be able to do. And that'll allow you to like meet some more people and open up new opportunities for love, dating, like career paths, just other things that you want to achieve. You have the little like devil face here, so that makes me think of just like the devil card in tarot, like temptation, toxic cycles, things like that. So you might be tempted by some things that seem like too good to be true or that are just like easy to deal with. Maybe it's something you've dealt with before and it's just, it always kind of the same kind of person or situation always draws you back in. But I feel like that's not interesting you as much anymore. You want something a little more substantial and something that resonates with you more rather than just like a quick fling or something that's just going to burn up really quickly or, not keep you interested for very long. And you have the Ace of Wands charm here. So that makes me think of just this kind of reignited passion. It also makes me think of that Fool card, like just excitement and enthusiasm and just getting excited about what's coming, just looking forward to this new era, the new state of time here, that you're actually having some new things happening. You have the Sand Dollar, so that has to do with just maybe you've been able to kind of delve under the surface a bit and like explore like what actually resonates with you. Maybe you've taken a pause and kind of been able to dive into your emotions and things, and now you feel like you actually know what's going on, like in your mind and in your emotional self. But it's also making me think, I know this isn't a sand dollar, it's a starfish, but it's giving me similar vibes, this making a difference. So maybe just kind of, giving somebody like a leg up or like helping them out somehow, might be something you're doing, like how this hand is like reaching out and putting the starfish back in the water. So maybe you're able to help other people kind of return to their like home state, if that makes sense, like return to who they really are and return to the environment in which they feel the best and like the most like themselves, if that makes sense. I feel like maybe even if you're just doing that yourself, you're going to inspire other people to do the same in their own lives. You have the Skier here, so that makes me think of just things getting a lot easier and smoother for you from here on out. You have the basketball hoop, so that makes me think of like dunking the ball. So I feel like you're going to be able to just kind of get something in one shot, and it's going to be exciting. And I feel like you're going to be kind of shocked by that. Like again, that's kind of tying back to the lucky feeling. Like you feel like you have no chance of it, but I feel like you're almost going to have that kind of boosted feeling. Like in, I don't know what movies I'm thinking of, but like there's like old cartoon tropes and stuff too, where if like people would wear like what they thought were magic shoes or something, and they'd go and try to play basketball and they'd make the dunk perfectly, and everyone would be cheering and stuff, and they thought it was due to like magic shoes, and then it was actually just within them all along. That's really cheesy, but that's kind of what's coming to mind. So I feel like that's going to be kind of the energy you've got right now, is just like feeling lucky all the time. Like you trust in this luck around you, and that's going to give you that extra boost of confidence. And even if it's not outside luck, it's just you being confident now, but that's enough to kind of get you going. You have the Om symbol, so that just makes me think you might want to like meditate or come back to just kind of your sense of self. But Om also means I am, so that makes me think of just again coming back to your true self. Just making sure that I do think that you're already kind of like in this state, or you're moving into this state where you're just feeling like you can come back to who you truly are and you're not fussed about what other people expect anymore. You have the egg cup as well, so that makes me think of, what softens the potato, hardens the egg. So just having gone through difficult situations, I think might have hardened you for a while, and that might be why you need to kind of open up your heart a little bit again. But I feel like you're really not that hard towards the outside world, even if you might come off that way around a lot of people. But just that might be something to be aware of, is try not to come off too harsh towards people, be kind. But I do think that that's something you're able to do already. You know, the cross, which is a symbol of protection, having faith, maybe having some kind of divine protection as well, because you do have the feather, which is my symbol for like signs and synchronicities, and trusting in those to kind of guide you on your path as well. So I think, again, just following your intuition, your inner wisdom, and knowing which paths feel right to you and which ones don't, and not settling for anything less. So group 3, I hope that this resonates. I would love to hear if it does, so please leave me a comment below. If you enjoyed this video, please like it and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I hope you have an awesome rest of your day. I hope these next few months for you are awesome, and I hope to see you next time. Thanks for watching.